Hi everyone, my name is Alexandria Farron. I am going to be showing my lesson plan PowerPoint on alcohol consumption. This is an opportunity for anyone watching to learn about the risk taking that does come with drinking too much alcoholic beverages, and also what it does to your body. I'm also going to talk about how you can change your ways in order to de-stress and lessen your instances of drinking alcohol. All right, so let's get started. So first, we're going to start off with discussing what alcohol does to the body. So consuming alcohol in vast amounts can be detrimental to your health and all systems in your body. So an example of this are some things that alcohol does interfere with in your body. So it interferes with your brain, your heart, your liver, your pancreas. It does cause cancers, and it hurts and hinders your immune system. So alcohol disrupts the brain pathways, and it can affect how it works. This can cause mood changes and behaviors that are not normal. For example, when someone has consumed too much alcohol, you can tell just in the way that they're walking or their speech is slurred. This is because the pathways to the brain are affected from the alcohol, and it takes longer time for you to get those messages to the brain. It also affects the heart. It can cause cardiomyopathy, arrhythmias, stroke, and high blood pressure. So just from drinking alcohol, it causes your blood pressure to rise, which in turn, if it goes on for a long period of time, can cause a stroke. So that's another reason why you would not want to consume alcohol. It also causes a fatty liver or alcoholic hepatitis, fibrosis, and cirrhosis of the liver. It also is detrimental to the pancreas. It inflames the pancreas and prevents proper digestion. This is why most people who drink alcoholic beverages get the alcoholic belly, which is a larger belly. Another thing that alcohol does, it can cause a variety of cancers. This would include head and neck cancer, esophageal cancer, liver cancer, breast cancer, and colorectal cancer. Alcohol also hinders the immune system. It affects the immune system in a way to not let your immunities build up and prevent those infections that most people can prevent if they do not consume alcoholic beverages. So here are just some review questions of the last slide. So question 1, if you drink alcohol in large quantities, what can it lead to? And question 2 is, how does this affect the brain? So this is just a review on what we just went over. Think about your answers for a minute, and we'll go to the next slide to see the answers, to see if you got them correct or not. I'll give you about 10 seconds. All right, so for the first question, drinking alcohol in large quantities can cause a variety of different things that I discussed in the previous slides. One of them can be multiple cancers, and it can affect how multiple organ systems function. So that would include, like we said prior, how digestion happens, how your immune system gets depressed, how the brain works. For the second question, how does it affect the brain? Well, it affects the brain and how the brain waves communicate. So for, like I said in this slide, when someone drinks too much, they act differently than they normally would. That can be from just how they're talking to how they're walking to how they get angry, they're moody. It can affect a lot with the brain. So why would someone drink? So a lot of people consume vast majorities of alcoholic beverages because it's their coping mechanism. Now, this coping mechanism is unhealthy, but it can be how they've learned to cope. This can just be from how they grew up to how they think it should be to just how they've learned in their life, how they've always coped is just, oh, I've had a hard day, so I'm going to go home and have a drink. So that's just how they've grown to cope. A lot of times in these situations, it is hard to change how you do cope and make strides into the right direction of becoming healthier. So that's one of the biggest steps, the hardest steps for, I believe, most people who are trying to stay away from alcoholic beverages. Some stressors that can cause people to drink are their work life, their family life, and for the veterans, their combat experience can make them drink. For veterans, I feel like it's especially detrimental because they don't have any way of discussing what they saw in combat. Some of the instances that they may occur in combat may be something they aren't allowed to discuss. And this would in turn lead them to drinking. Another thing that I have learned with military members is that sometimes it's hard to go get help if you need it, just for the fact that you might think you'd be looked at as weak or you can't handle your own life. So that would be one thing that would lead them to drink. As far as military family life, I believe that a lot of military families drink alcoholic beverages because they don't have that community that most people have when they grow up in a town and have lived there for forever. They have new people that they meet all the time. Spouses never know when their significant other is leaving them. You have kids to think about, that you have to do everything by yourself if your spouse does leave. So I feel like that is a majority of reason why spouses do drink alcoholic beverages, and it's just a way for them to feel like they're relaxing and that it's the norm of the age, even though it's not healthy for them. That's just how they feel is the right way to go about their stressors. Sometimes dealing with these types of stressing, it is hard, like I said before, to overcome this way of coping, as it is very easy to just go down to the liquor store or even the gas station and get a drink, and it's really not that expensive. However, if you try to go see a counselor or talk to someone about your problems, sometimes there is a waiting period as to see when you can get in to talk to a counselor, or you have to wait for a referral from your doctor or physician. So that could be another reason why it's just easier to go down the street to your local gas station and pick a drink up. There are different ways to distress rather than drinking. One of them is meditation. You can listen to calming music, even just taking a minute for yourself to de-stress and not think about things. That's another way that you can distress. Just have your own little timeout. The last one that I already discussed was talking to a professional. This could also be very good for people as they learn how to, their counselor can help them come up with ways to de-stress rather than picking up that drink, and it'll be a healthier lifestyle for them in the long run. So a couple of questions that I do have, these are open-ended questions. There's going to be more than one answer to these questions, but one I was just curious for anyone watching this is, how do you de-stress in a healthy manner? Do you take that time out? Do you take that instance of having a way of just sitting and thinking to yourself about your day? Do you have a journal? What types of things do you guys do to de-stress? And then what are some stressors in your life? Is it your family? Is it your work life? Is it scenarios that I may have not thought of? There are a million different stressors that can be in anyone's life, and everyone is different. So it could just be really anything that you think is stressful to yourself that may not be stressful to others. So we'll take a minute and think about these questions. All right. So like I said, these answers are going to be different for everyone, or they may be the same. But some ideas of de-stressing at home would include, like I talked before, meditation, where you're just taking that time out, or deep breathing exercises. I do know that works as well too. And then some stressors in your life might be work or family. Some other things might be just how you think you can't focus, or schoolwork plus work plus family life. There's just a lot that goes on in everyone's life that is different, that can lead to that stress. All right. So in order to maintain a happier and healthier lifestyle, we want to think of ways to de-stress and make it to where you can be happier and healthier. You want to come up with those healthy coping mechanisms. And doing all these things, it can lead to a healthy and happier lifestyle, which in turn can help with healthier relationships. It can help you not fight so much with your partner, as you've already de-stressed and you don't have that stressor hanging in the loom anymore. It can also help by you being happier around your family, which in turn can make everyone's way of looking at life better. It can help with really anything in your life if you just have those de-stressing moments. I think that in order to de-stress, it's good to think of ways that might be unique to you. This can be in the form of writing in a notebook, or watching a funny video. Really anything in your life can be helped by de-stressing. All right, so now that we're at the end of our presentation, I just wanted to take a quick survey. If you would, just please write your answers in the comment section so I can review them later. If you don't want to write them in the comment section, that's fine, but if you could just leave a comment letting me know if you like this video, if you didn't like this video, what you think went well, what could have been better, if this helped you out in any way, maybe learn about how you can de-stress, and if any of the PowerPoint helped you take away anything that might benefit you, or if there's any other thing that you think might work that you can suggest to someone. I feel like it takes a village to raise a family, but really it takes a village for you to learn new things. I'm constantly learning new things from everyone I come in contact with, and I feel like it's just a great way to help not only yourself, but the community as a whole. So if you think of anything, just leave a comment. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. Thank you so much for your time.